History of the Santander Cathedral. Legend has it that the heads of the holy martyrs Emeterius and Celadonius arrived at the port of Santander in a basket that passed through the Horadada rock at the entrance to the bay. A sanctuary was then constructed on the Roman ruins at St. Peter's Hill. The martyri was dedicated to these two brothers from La Rioja. In the 8th century, a religious complex was founded by King Alfonso II, consisting of an ecclesia and a monastery. In 1131 it was replaced by the primitive collegiate church, erected by Alfonso VIII. At the end of the 12th century, the construction of two superimposed churches in the Cistercian Gothic style began. The lower church or Church of the Martyrs dates from 1230. The upper church, called Collegiate Church of the Holy Bodies, the cloister and the tower were finished in the 14th century. The chapels, the oratory, the sacristy, the antechamber, the choir, and the door of the martyrs were built in the second half of the 17th century. Around that time, the bell tower was also completed. A magnificent Baroque staircase designed by Gregorio de la Rosa led to the door of the martyrs. Later, during the first half of the 18th century, a new octagonal chevet was built, with ribbed and oven vaults. The new apse leaned against the walls of the old castle. After the explosion of the Frete Cabo Machichaco in 1893, remodeling work was carried out on the religious complex. The cloister was seriously affected by the blast wave. The bishop's palace was designed by Joaquin Rucoba in neo-Gothic style. The fire in 1941 destroyed a good part of the monumental complex. Altarpieces, paintings, and sculptures were destroyed, as well as many liturgical objects and ornaments. In the restoration works, the temple was enlarged. A new chevet was added with Gothic, Classicist, and Baroque elements. The bishop's palace was demolished. The Gothic chapel of St. James disappeared, as well as the remains of the medieval Hospital of the Holy Spirit. At the end of the 20th century, the master plan of the Basilica Cathedral allowed for restoration works and archaeological interventions. The cathedral archive has been reformed, and the old bells have been replaced. This interpretation center of the history of Santander would not have been possible without the commitment, knowledge, and enthusiasm of two historians, Joaquin González Echegaray and José Luis Casado Soto. Joaquin González Echegaray, Santander 1930 to 2013, priest and historian. Author of numerous publications dedicated to the prehistory, history, and ethnography of Cantabria, in addition to many others on biblical archaeology. He was the director of the Altamira Museum and Research Center. Together with José Luis Casado Soto, he directed the archaeological excavations carried out in the cathedral and the master plan of this monumental complex. José Luis Casado Soto, Santander, 1945 to 2014, professor and historian with extensive professional and research experience. He published numerous studies on the history of Santander. His works on the Santander Cathedral, underwater archaeology, and maritime ethnography are also of special interest. He promoted the creation of the Cantabrian Maritime Museum and was its director for over 30 years.